Hey, happy Hairy Jav Day.
Well, here we are. Happy anniversary to you.
11 years ago.
This is the most important anniversary in my life.
11 years ago today, the Hairy Jav strode out to Eden Park, played the innings of his life.
Pulls it.
Over and on for 6. And New Zealand are into the grand final.
I think about this moment perhaps daily. I do think it crosses my mind daily. Anytime something good happens to me, I go, shit, does this compare to the feeling that I had when Jav pulls it? And I usually go, no, it doesn't compare to that.
Yeah, and for every year since we've released the video with our commentary, but the ICC now shut it down.
Yeah, they hate it.
So we've got like a still montage, still with our audio though, and the most played audio of that moment is our commentary, because if you hear the international commentary, it is pretty dull.
I don't think I've ever heard the actual.
You should hear the BBC radio one.
Smithy is doing the
Oh, is it Schmitty? Okay, right.
Yeah, he's
hating it.
hating life.
He's halfway through a quarterback and...
Well, he's secretly part of the former disgruntled New Zealand Cricket Players Association.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that might have been in a time when he wasn't too tense, but no, still no.
No.
Jeez, my sinuses are blocked, aren't they? Sorry, I'm trying to sound a little bit...
Hey, on the potty today, we've got some guests.
Yeah, we certainly do. Bill
Tuiloma.
and Francis de Vries, both New Zealand All Whites.
Yeah, All Whites have got a couple of games this weekend. Last home camp before the FIFA World Cup in America, Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, man.
Are we going to ask them about kind of rising tensions over there? Maybe go into some political issues?
Probably
discuss...
not. I think probably as far as we can go, we'll be talking about the Phoenix, Auckland FC, because obviously they're opposing teams there. We can talk about that.
Yeah, we can.
And I'll hijack them with 22 and 2.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. They'll be used to that type of carry on. And All White. They don't get a lot of exposure, do they, the All Whites?
No, but
I was thinking that as they were...
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
We get into it.
Yep. Live from the Export Beer Gunner Studio, this is the agenda for Tuesday, the 24th of March.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Rightio, talk to me. How are we filming today's podcast, Lane?
Well, on the brand new S26 Ultra, the Samsung Galaxies. And I'll tell you what, the picture on this one is so much better than our normal cameras.
Yeah, crispy.
Yeah, so crispy.
I'd go as far to say too crispy.
Yeah.
Slightly exposing.
Yeah, they're pretty epic. I mean, you've got 5 cameras facing you in the one phone. There's a lot of kit. It's a lot of kit, a lot of technology. And it is available now from Samsung.com if you want to go check it out, the latest Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. But we've got one to give away.
Yeah, we certainly do.
They wouldn't give us one to us. They've given us 3 loan phones to film. But they said we can give you one, but you have to give it away.
A lot like in JB Hi-Fi, the padlock to the floor.
Yeah. And we did say, sure, our audience is probably more important than us.
Yeah.
So text phone to 3236 and let us know why you want to win this new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. And it could be yours. When are we giving that away? Like next week or something?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Shall we talk some sport?
Yeah.
I was reading an article a couple of days ago, another couple of hit pieces on Brendon McCullum.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently falling out with a few people inside the camp. Turns out that came to nothing, and he's kept his job.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. He's still got his job.
Well, I guess who they replace him with as well. I mean,
So what's the issue? Let's start there.
Well, but the big issue is the Ashes debacle.
Bit of a pantsing.
Yeah, pantsing, and then obviously when you get a pantsing, you're going to get a bit of a divide. I think Stokesy even came out and threw Baz under the bus a little bit.
He did slightly, didn't he?
Baz tried to get on the front foot and take a few bullets from the Aussie media, which backfired a little bit.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he got thrown under the bus. A little bit of piss drinking going on, which they reined in during the T20 World Cup, and they played pretty well. I think they were unlucky not to go further, the England team, because they look pretty handy.
They've got a small branding issue at the moment, don't they?
Well,
Baz McCullum led England's side. How do you get away from the golf playing, piss drinking England that they are now identified as, and they can't really escape?
Well, I think it was just a few player incidents. You had Ben Duckett getting an Uber home late at night.
Being filmed probably by another one of his teammates, by the way. But anyway,
Bethel on the piss the night before, Harry Brook night before. There was just some stuff, just some sloppy stuff.
It was a bit sloppy.
Bit sloppy and young, and you could tell that the youngsters are just a bit. Maybe they hadn't been reined in enough, but I'd say now they are aware that they can have a good time.
Yep.
And not fuck it up, because I always believe that the Baz McCullum's theory of building a good team is creating such a good environment that you don't want to get dropped and you want to be part of the team, because when you go on tour, you play at sweet golf courses, you go out, have a good time, but you also have to perform. Otherwise, you
don't get
the
rewards.
opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think Vittoria ran the same cutter at Cricket Australia.
Yep.
You know, their warm-up camp when they came out here and smoked us in those T20s last year, their warm-up camp was at Te Arai.
Yeah.
Te Arai Links.
And as a man that's been lucky enough to go there, not a lot of cricket being played out at Te Arai.
No, not a lot of facilities out there.
No.
But
I don't know if they got a net in out there or whatever.
and also these players don't need a lot of practice or training. They're playing so much that they know and they train themselves. I mean, Trent Bolt's got his own indoor cricket net at his house. He does all his training there.
Classic.
So you're not gonna coach these guys much. So the idea is to create an environment in which they do not want to leave and always want to be part of, and do it that way. And that's what Baz has done. He's empowered a few players. He's pretty genius. He picked Bethel out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Hadn't even scored a first-class century, but now he's potentially one of the most promising players on the planet. So he's good at picking up young talent like that and believing in them.
We have said in the past as well that maybe Baz doesn't actually want to be doing it as much as maybe other head coaches, but I do think he wants to be doing it. And then when he sees numbers like $2.29 million a year.
Yeah, £1 million a year. I mean, he's got a lot of horses to pay for as well,
I think he
horses
goes,
are
hang
expensive.
on, maybe I am happy to rein in the boys a little bit more.
Yeah, so I think he's still contracted. This is the thing. He's still got another 18 months to run on his contract.
Yeah, so it's a tough headline, isn't it, that Baz Ball keeps his job? Of course he does. He's contracted in.
The option for ECB would have been pay him out of his contract and send him home, which Baz would have been sweet.
Yeah,
or
taking that.
Maybe cut the piss drinking a little bit. Maybe Baz Ball wise, maybe we just kind of pump the brakes on that a little bit, depending on who we're playing.
Let's just maybe put the phones in the bag.
Yeah,
a bit
but I mean,
more.
because the thing is, if England had made the final and won, they would have to have knighted him.
Yes, well, they would have, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And this is the issue that they've...
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, he's a great New Zealander, Brendon McCullum. So I'm glad he's kept his job.
So, and it's good for New Zealand cricket to see that we've lost one of our own.
Yeah. AC Dion Nash, not long after that decision yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Good to see what the roadblock was in all of this. It was Dion Nash.
The roadblock was very similar looking to Dion Nash.
Yeah. Dion Nash decided to quit immediately after New Zealand cricket decided to go with the NZ20. He is obviously a huge member of the disgruntled former New Zealand Cricket Players Association. He is...
And a massive fan, clearly, of the BBL.
Of anything but doing something ambitious.
And he's decided to die on that hill.
Yes.
All right, fuck it. I don't want to be a part of this new thing.
And he will be dangerously annoying outside of it now.
Yeah, so what
from the sidelines, I'm sure he won't be screaming encouragement for the
Yeah, maybe we should get him on the show at some stage. See what he's...
McConey him and McConey are good buddies.
Are they mates?
So, that's why McConey came out. Remember he came out with his, around the whole furor around the CEO resigning and...
that's
and
why there was that pro-rhetoric around.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't trust anyone these days.
Paul and Dylan did an emergency pod of the BYC last night.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good God.
And Paul had a good point. He said that it would have been good if Dion Nash stayed on the board because it would be good to have some kind of opposite opinion to everything that was going on. So obviously the NZ20 is going forward, but having someone else who could say, hey, that's great, but why don't we also do this and have a bit of opposite kind of rhetoric?
I think there's still opposition on the board.
Yeah,
I think there was, because there was talk about whether it would be a deadlocked and it would be up to the chairperson to cast the deciding vote. So I still think there is people within that board, and you could tell by that release that it was the most airy-fairy, non-committal.
Yeah, there's a lot of caveats.
But
Dion Nash doesn't seem like the type of guy that's happy to kind of compromise, does he? He just wants to chuck the roadblocks down and the road spikes down and go, this is what I reckon we do here.
He's a competitive man.
Yeah.
So I think he might have been in there going, if he had stayed saying, really going against it the whole time, it would have really grounded.
He would have delayed it, because the issue now is delaying because, I think late last year when it was first proposed, they said that 2027 was an option to start.
Right.
But that was 6 or 7 months ago when they first proposed it. And now we're not actually that far away. Securing owners, players, locations, everything, organisations. That's a tough call. And that's putting together 5 new franchise organisations within New Zealand, which is a pretty small market.
Is that the
I'd
number,
like
by
to
the
think
way?
it
Is
would
that the
happen.
number 5?
5 teams, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be 3 North Island, 2 South.
Yep.
That's the proposal.
A bye every 3 weeks?
No, I do it all in 1 month. So
I forget that it's going to be a short tourney.
yeah, so I mean, it's bang, bang, bang. I mean, they probably do a super weekend down in Queenstown.
Yeah,
would be
and then
pretty
play
epic.
twice a week kind of thing between the 2 teams, yeah.
So I hope it gets underway. But if it's another year, it's another year. I don't mind that if it's another year.
Okay, so you can go and check out Dylan Cleaver and Paul Ford's emergency pod last night on the
Yep.
BYC feed.
Yeah, they'll fully nerd out on that.
I bet they will.
They will absolutely nerd out.
Can you explain this headline to me here?
Yep.
Highlanders stolen mouthguards.
Yeah. So this was an incident that happened last year when the Highlanders came up to play Moana Pacifica in Auckland. They were staying at the Crown Plaza, I believe, which is crackhead alley. Really, it's not.
Certainly is.
There's a lot of meth heads just running around the cycle lanes around there. Anyway,
I recommend the Wynyard Quarter area for those running admin.
Yeah.
That's a nice area down there. A little bit less
cracky.
cracky for sure.
A little bit less glass Barbie.
It's right next to the police station, which is the interesting thing.
No, the old police station. That's not there anymore, is it?
The main big police station.
Isn't the main big police station up in Ponsonby now?
No. The big tower, that's still there.
Nah, that's empty.
Is it?
Yeah, the one on Cook Street there.
Yeah.
Nah, they
Well,
they
there you
haven't
go.
been in there for years.
Who did I get arrested by then?
Anyway, so these crackheads broke into the van, the Highlanders van, and hit a jackpot because all their technical equipment was in there.
Beauty.
All their laptops, everything. And then they stole 27 of those new mouthguards.
Oh, the HIA mouthguards.
Yeah, the
smart
Bluetooth,
mouthguards,
the smart
okay.
mouthguards that are worth $500 each.
And if I know crackies, I would have known exactly what to do with those.
So they offloaded all the, all the equipment. I think they arrested a few people, found all the charging cables, but not the actual lappies. And then, like a year later, they knocked on this lady's Midiama Shirley Emery's apartment on an unrelated job, and
Shirley.
hidden underneath a whole lot of blankets was a suitcase containing 24 mouthguards. So 3 are missing. So there's 3 crackheads running around Auckland with HIA mouthguards.
Hooked up to their iPhone.
That must be bleeping off the fucking Richter scale the amount of times they fall off scooters and into trees.
Oh, can we not imagine how many HIAs do you reckon they've racked up?
That'd be so good if we could go around
If we could get the numbers on how many HIAs these crackheads have racked up over the last 12 months.
If we could get the data.
Fuck, that would be funny.
If we could get the Bluetooth data of the meth heads who've got these mouthguards in somewhere. Anyway, the police, Emery, while the police are standing there, Emery calls a mate and says, the things I was supposed to get rid of for the bro. He said, you take the rap so I don't go to jail tonight, was what the person who answered the phone said. So,
okay,
not the smartest of tools, not the sharpest tools in the shed. She's been sentenced, which she's been given home D. So yeah, anyway, but probably
that'll tell her.
I mean, one of those things that's like a fucking super pain in the ass for the Highlanders because it's like, oh fuck's sake,
yeah.
Like they probably didn't. I mean, it's replaceable, but it's annoying.
But also, like, how do you get rid of these Bluetooth smart mouth guards?
You can't. That's why.
That's why they're hidden under a blanket. And
They're like, what do we do with these fucking?
Just give them back.
I wonder what they thought they were though, because they'd be like, are they some sort of gum like shield? Are they some sort of braces?
Yeah,
like, what's going on?
Doorstop situation.
They probably would have been paranoid that since they were smart mouth guards, they might have had Find My Mouth Guard on them.
Yeah.
So they would have tracked them down. But there we go. I'm not sure if the Highlanders have been given their mouth guards back, but
fingers crossed. I mean, they might not want them back, and I understand that. Yeah. If Shirley's been taking them for a couple of spins.
Very South Island of the Highlanders to leave your van out on the street, though.
Yeah, that's still me. I know Joe and I are both share the similar activities in car parks. Like if I go into a countdown, in Green Lane, like I usually do, I'll just leave the car unlocked, window half down.
Yeah, well, I mean,
drives the missus nuts.
Well, you must be begging for your car to be stolen, though.
Yeah, well, I don't think of it in that way. Oh, that's a good point. If I come out of the supermarket and I see a cracky with a mouthguard and driving a fucking 2001 Ford Focus with a wind mirror hanging off like a saggy dog's ear,
you'd be like, keep going, mate.
Yeah, just like, thank you.
Yeah.
You're doing me a massive favour. By the way, if anyone wants that car, 3236, I might give it away.
Speaking of head knocks.
Yeah, this is sad. This is tragic.
No surprises, though.
No, it certainly isn't. Eli Katoa. It has been released that he's probably not going to be playing rugby league again.
Yeah, fucking hell, that was pretty grim. But you got to admit, is there some sort of?
Did we get anywhere with that?
Get anywhere with the fact that who let him on the field?
Yeah. Well, because the story, if we go back, right, it was that double concussion in the warm up of an international test,
and then he got smacked again in the game, and then basically got hospitalised with a brain bleed. Funny with rugby union for all their faults, have tackled this kind of concussion problem, and they've done research. They're doing something about it. They got the smart mouth guards. They're actually proactive about it.
Yeah, they are trying
and talking about it.
Well, because they realise that if they want people to play their sport in another 25 years.
Whereas league, I find, are just kind of going, yeah.
Yeah, they were just relying on people being hard.
Yeah, they're just like, that's not. We don't talk about it. It's not a problem. And poor union's probably taking most of the brunt of all of this concussion issue, which is an issue. I mean, American football are doing the same, but I feel like league are the ones going, yeah. Yeah, and this is proven that they can't keep going, because poor Eli Katoa he's fucking done.
Yeah, and he's been shafted because of how good he is at the sport, or how good he was at the sport, and they needed him so desperately to play that they just didn't really take things into consideration, and I think that's fair to say, right? That was the general vibe, is they were just needing him to play.
Yeah, and
that's what they said. That
he got
they
knocked
needed
the
him
fuck
to play.
out before the game.
Tragic, man.
Like, what the fuck, man?
That's lawsuit fucking
stuff for sure.
You know what? I hope he fucking does lawyer up.
Yeah, same.
Because that's criminal.
So he's obviously already been ruled out for 2026, but now Bellamy's basically saying a return to footy isn't guaranteed at all. The good news, he's recovering. It's still around the club, but rugby league is clearly secondary right now, as it should be.
Jesus. Anyway, yeah, all the best.
I hope the club's looking after him, that's for sure.
Hey, I think we've got a couple of All Whites knocking at the door.
Can't wait!
Yep. So are you going to go deep on your football nerdery? Because you are a bit of a football
nerd. I'll ask him a bit about what they're up to. I know Bill's a Lincoln boy. Well, he's originally a Samoan boy, but I know he played a bit of football down in Lincoln. I'll ask how that maybe was received. Yep. No, I won't. I won't ask about that because as a man that grew up playing football in
but they've got a couple of games this weekend at Eden Park, and also last home camp before the FIFA World Cup, which they're going to be in.
I hope they're excited about that.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll ask them about it. Rightio, boys. Thanks for coming in for us, Mr. Vries, Bill Tuiloma. How are we, boys?
Good.
Yeah, happy?
Good, yeah.
Look at you two teammates now, eh?
Yeah. Well, we were back in the day. I don't know if you guys
know this.
Right, okay.
Yeah. We went to high school together, yeah.
What, down in Canterbury?
Yeah.
Lincoln or something?
Lincoln High School,
That's right, okay, yeah. I was having a look at your team history, Bill, and it was funny, man. On Wikipedia it's listed Waitakere United 1 performance and then straight over to League One in France.
And they got it messed up, but it is what it is.
So what's happening? So you got a game Friday night?
Yep.
Happy? Not happy?
Very happy.
Yeah,
exciting, especially being our last camp in New Zealand.
Yeah.
We want to, go off on our best front foot, and especially with playing good teams like Finland and Chile.
Yeah, two good sides, eh?
Good countries, good footballing countries. So it'll be a good challenge for us. Like I said, we're very excited and good to be around the All Whites environment again.
I'm sure G Lane's about to go into this as well, but a different weight to the badge now. It feels a little bit like, because there's so much conversation about the World Cup. Do you guys feel that? Is it different playing for the All Whites now, knowing that the World Cup might be something that is definitely a little bit more possible, it feels like, than maybe previous years?
How do you feel, mate?
It'd be hard not to. You guys are going to go to a World Cup. You guys are going to hang out with some big dogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's the World Cup is the biggest event in the world, and everyone's watching you, and it's. I'm pretty sure for everyone else that it's it's a dream for a young kid to go there, and it was always a dream for me to go to a World Cup, and for it to be around the corner.
Yeah.
And going over to the States and States and Mexico and Canada, and being in front of all the millions of eyes that are going to watch, it's a big deal.
Francis, where were you for the last one, bro? Where were you in 2011 when South Africa was going on?
I remember exactly high school.
Yeah,
watching with my mates, celebrating Rory's goal.
Yeah.
Celebrating the save. We were talking about that just before.
Yeah, I've been to G Lane just to cram. I've been sitting in here watching the 2010 Bahrain highlights.
Oh, okay.
At Sky Stadium. Was it Sky Stadium at the time? It was in Wellington. Man, packed in Wellington. The captain was fucking reamed. Mark Paston leant down to the right and made that save, and then we went to South Africa and then went undefeated. Were you you must have been watching it at the time.
Yeah, I was definitely watching it.
Are you you're a 95 baby?
95,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
95. Yeah, so.
I was that World Cup. I was in the Middle East for my sins anyway, and they had some great setups. They had some great setups there with big marquees on the beach and stuff, and you go into them and they were massive. Obviously closed off for Westerners to just drink piss and watch football. And obviously heaps of expats there, like heaps of Brits, heaps of Aussies, and quite a few Kiwis as well. And I distinctly remember that Italy game where we partied. We partied in that tent like we'd fucking won the World Cup. And the fact that it's the greatest Spates question of all time, the only team to go undefeated.
I mean, it's a big deal, undefeated.
Totally.
It is.
But it must be pretty awesome for football in New Zealand. Football's on a little bit of a heater at the moment. You've got the Phoenix and the Auckland FC rivalry. You've got FC doing so well. I wasn't going to bring it up, but you know what I mean. But the football conversation, it's in the media. Like you've got rugby for so long, just dominates the headlines. Even if it's going terribly, they still dominate the headlines. And now you've got the fact that the Oceania place in the automatic qualification into World Cups now makes that path a little bit easier, as Mashi said there. Like, you guys must be pretty pumped that now you've got this. It is the biggest dance of all. It's probably the biggest sporting dance in the world. It's probably, you got the Olympics and then you probably got the FIFA World Cup.
I think it is. It's number one event.
It's insane. I don't think people realise how significant it is. But it's pretty awesome that we now get a pretty good shot at it every 4 years. You guys got these warm-up games this weekend, trial games. But Francis, you were saying that you can't really think about this World Cup because obviously the squad's not named yet, and this is almost like warm-ups, but you're almost kind of like, I don't really want to get too excited, but surely you want to these are almost like trials, are they, these games for you guys? Or how do you feel about the fact, are you saying you can't concentrate on it, but surely it's in the back of your head?
Yeah, of course it is. You know, like, we know it's coming and it's exciting, and it definitely motivates you to do all the little things right, especially, we're at the last part of our club season and results are getting really important. So you're trying to focus on that. You're trying to focus on doing your recovery properly. You're trying to focus on keeping your body and your mind in the best place possible. And
staying healthy is a good point,
final preparation now for us. So we're putting a lot of work this season now. So
now
it feels like it's all coming to this pointy end of the season. And what better way to have a motivation than to be able to get a chance to go to a World Cup? Nice.
And Bill, can you feel that resurgence in New Zealand around football, and the fact that it's in the media, there's conversations about it, obviously the derby that goes on every now and then, that obviously Phoenix hasn't gone great for you, but can you feel that? Can you feel that?
No, 100%. Definitely feel the vibe around New Zealand is all the talk is about the World Cup, and it's a great feeling. It gets the team out there, and all these kids around New Zealand are watching TV and be like, wow, maybe they want to do it when they grow up. But you can definitely feel the vibe about it and the excitement that that New Zealand are going to the World Cup.
Yeah, I don't think you guys should underestimate the fact that you guys are going to the World Cup, because the last World Cup, that epic final between France and Argentina. My son's rugby team at the time, they were how old would they have been? They would have been like 10 years old, 9 years old. Yeah. Their entire rugby team went to football after that World Cup.
No way!
Every single one of them. They watched. Good. They watched. They watched Lionel Messi, and they watched
Mbappe,
and they all fucking wanted to be Mbappe and Messi. Like, it was insane. And the whole entire rugby team went and played football. Didn't go well for them though, because it was a rugby team that went and played football, and they just were way too physical. They were way too kind of rough, and physical. And half of them went back to rugby, and half of them stayed in football. But that was the influence that just watching a World Cup, and the fact that Kiwis are going to be over there and the All Whites are going to be there. I think that's going to have a even bigger impact on youngsters. Seeing them on the world stage. So no pressure.
I mean, go to any park really during the winter season in Auckland, and you'll see it's full of football players running around, young football players, and probably same in Wellington, and hopefully same in Christchurch. And it's amazing to see how the growth is going in the sport. So for them to have that opportunity to watch real people from New Zealand being in that situation, it's something that we had once, right? We were lucky enough to have it once, but they're going to have it hopefully moving forwards consistently. So
Yeah.
What's it like being a professional footballer in NZ? Like, if Will Jordan walks down the road or something like that, he gets probably stopped by a few people. Are you guys, is it ramping up? France, does it happen? I bet it does in Auckland.
We're in his own city.
Nah, it's pretty low key. It's nice to be in New Zealand. People are really respectful. Yeah.
Your story's wild, eh? I mean, I'm sure you've been asked to talk about this many a time, but you only a couple of years ago you were playing in Switzerland or something like that. Is that
Sweden,
right?
yeah.
Sweden, right?
Working in the factory, doing all the hard yards, yeah.
And then how did you get the call up to Auckland FC? So you were over there playing what?
Yeah.
Because you got promoted a couple of times over there, right? Twice in 2 seasons or something like that, and then you got the call up from Auckland FC to come back here. You're one of the first 4 signings announced. I remember that happening.
Yeah.
And how did that happen? Who gave you the call? Was it Steve or was it, I don't know, friend of the show, Nick Becker, or how did it all work?
It's always like through the agent.
Right, okay,
But I'd done my ACL in Sweden and was just playing locally for Eastern Suburbs.
Yeah.
So
you came back here to nurse an injury?
Yeah.
Fucking work out.
Playing against your old team, Birkenhead, and
the best team.
Yeah. So a bit of rivalry, Auckland rivalry here. We're gonna go watch this weekend, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, mate, it was cool. It was cool as like I knew it was something that was in the pipeline.
Okay, cool.
You hear whispers and stuff, but then when they actually call you're like, I remember I was sitting in my car just about to go shopping around where I live, and then the phone rang. This unknown number, and usually you don't pick it up. You think,
it's the text department.
You're answering it real cautiously. Like, hello? Who's this?
You never with your name, eh? You just go, hello?
Yeah. Sorry, who?
Wrong number.
Yeah.
And is there any beef? I'll ask it. Fuck it. Going into camp now for the first time ever. We've got 2 sides in New Zealand. Well, not for the first time ever, but we now have 2 good sides in New Zealand, and they have to go into the same camp and play for the same country. I'm sure you guys put everything aside or whatever, but is it quite an interesting dynamic now that you've got a couple of rivals that are going to be playing for the same team as you? Is that weird at all or nah?
Nah, it's not weird at all. No. Obviously coming together, we're one team. We play for the national team, so all that is pushed aside, and then once we leave the All Whites, it's back to we want to kill these guys,
you can compete and be mates at the same time. Like it's
like on the field, you be rowdy and all that, but off the field, it's
you must be able to give him a little bit of shit. Come on, Francis. Surely you sitting in there. It must be tempting, though, eh?
I would.
Should it be tempting? Bill chirps up and you go, fuck it, mate. Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it.
Freddie's too kind. Freddie's too kind.
Okay.
I've known him for years now. So,
okay.
So that's easy. Okay.
I was just thinking when we play you guys, I was like, I hope I don't have to mark you on corners. I think Dan Hall was marking me.
Dan Hall was marking me.
We're laughing about that. Yeah.
It's good. It's good times.
So how long have you been back in Wellington? This is your first season.
I got here early Jan. Early Jan, but I was only I could only start playing when the transfer window was open.
Yeah.
So I think 14th of Jan, I was able to be in the squad and all that. So yeah.
It's been good playing for the Phoenix. You enjoy it?
It's been good. The fans are awesome.
Yeah.
I know we had a spell that wasn't going well, but
busy time to come back.
But the fans were always behind us. And that was pushing us, and I feel like our win. I think it was against, I can't remember the team, but I don't know, it was our last game in Welly.
Yeah.
But we owed it to the fans because they were there through the tough times. But it's been good. It's been good. We've had a few good results that pushed us to 8th or 9th, which is really good, and then we're 1 point behind the 6th. So it's going well. We've got 4 more games, and it's just got to keep pushing forward.
Unreal. So this Friday, who have you got? Is it Finland or Chile?
Finland,
Finland. Okay, sweet. So what's the prep been like? I mean, it's a short camp. We talked before we turned the mics on about how you prepare in about 10 days. What does that look like? Is it more of a morale-based thing? Do people does the coaching staff back you guys' skills and just go, you know what, let's just get the team together? Or is it fairly hard drilled?
First we got to get the team together. Some of the boys, I think most of them arrived today.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Jeez, quick turnaround.
Jesus.
It's amazing what these guys do.
Yeah.
Off the plane, imagine flying 24 hours and 2 days later
you're
pushing yourself to the limit again.
Yeah.
And again, that goes back to being a professional, and this is what comes with what we do. I lived in France and in America, and doing those travels back was it's not easy.
No.
But it is what it is, and that's part of our job. But yeah, it's good to have we'll have most of the team back, players together, and then we'll train this afternoon, and we'll go from there. And then I think tomorrow we'll start dialing and then watching how Finland played and how we're gonna play against it.
Oh yeah, a bit of time in the video room, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this is the last chance for New Zealanders to catch you guys before you head off to the States and Mexico and Canada for the World Cup. So Friday night, Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the last home camp.
This is the last
chance to see you guys before you head off. Oh, so tickets still available to go down to Eden Park. Before you go guys, I've got to run you through the 22 and 2, which is questions we ask every guest, and it's rapid fire, quick fire questions, rapid fire, yes, no judgment. Since there's two of you, I'm just going to have to go.
Where's the briefing?
I'm going to have to go. Like I'll go. Bill then Francis. Okay, to answer the questions. Okay, so you just answer them and move on. So we'll start with you, Bill. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Sex or drugs?
Sex.
Hard or fast, Bill?
Hard.
Yeah. Francis, would you rather wake up nude next to Paul Gascoigne or Maradona?
Maradona.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
Yeah, no,
Thai or Indian, Bill?
Ooh, Indian.
Eat out or dine in, Francis?
Dine in.
Freddie Mercury or Elton John?
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Wet or dry?
Dry.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs. I got 2 dogs.
Travis Kelce or Taylor Swift, Francis?
Or Taylor Swift on the playlist, definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
Bill, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo and Pele. Who's got the biggest downstairs?
Pele.
Yeah, surely. What football legend, Francis, would you bring back from the dead?
Oh, good question.
Right. Maradona, we're
that's
going
a good
with him.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to go back to Bill now. Bill, if the ceremony to bring back Maradona resulted in you talking like David Beckham for the rest of your life, would you still do it?
Bring him back.
Okay. Yep. Have you ever fired a gun, Francis?
Never.
Ever killed anything bigger than an insect, Bill?
Nope.
Who's the most famous person you've ever met, Francis?
The old Ronaldo, R9.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Heavy hitter.
For you, Bill, this one's a little bit
Heavy
weird. If you had a reoccurring dream, Bill, that a snowman killed himself with a hairdryer,
Oh my God.
would you be concerned? Like you've had this every night.
A snowman killing a what?
Killing himself with a hairdryer.
I'll be very concerned.
Yeah. Francis, if you were offered a knighthood, would you accept it?
Depends if I have to wear the armor and stuff or not.
Bill, at what age do people say, "Oh, I've had a fall," instead of just falling over?
What age?
Yeah,
Ooh,
you know, I've had a fall instead of I've just fallen over.
55.
Oh shit, that's quite young. Francis, if you ever yelled at anyone, Google me, motherfucker.
Too many embarrassing photos if you got images.
Last one, but last question. Maybe you guys can answer this between you. If you were going to get a statue made of yourself, Bill, what pose would you be in, and where would you put the statue?
What pose would I be in?
Pose? Yeah, well, example, there's lots of other a lot of cricketers we've answered this question to, very vindictive on their teammates. Like Southey was nude, horseback, rearing up on the front on the front lawn of Dan Vittori's house. He didn't really get that, but other people were far more earnest. Like, you know, Ryan Fox was just at the end of his swing and he'd put it at his dad's place just to remind him how good he was at golf.
Shit, that's wholesome.
Yeah.
Maybe just me. Like, you know, I take some free kicks, so
yeah.
it'll
nice.
probably be me kicking the ball, and it'll be in where I'm originally from, Samoa, and one of my my parents' villages.
Oh, nice. Epic.
That's a great answer.
Epic. Well, thanks very much, guys. That's your 22 and 2. You survived those.
Congratulations. Yeah, that was good.
It was good to team up together, actually, because
it's an easy way to take it for sure. I forget that the first and then the second. There's a big difference between the first, second, and the second question.
There is a bit of a jump. There is a jump. Hey, good luck on Friday and Monday. All the best with the World Cup, man. We're going to be watching. We're going to be glued to the TV.
Great time to watch here in NZ, by the way.
Great time to watch. Perfect time. I think you guys are going to be pretty surprised about how much people are going to get behind you here. Yeah. So good luck.
Come watch. Yeah.
I know.
What an opportunity.
Yeah, we can't wait. So congrats, boys.
Thanks very much.
See you soon, hopefully. Take care.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
I can't quite tell if those the All Whites boys are actually that excited about playing football.
Look, I think they were
modest boys.
They were more impressed with our setup here.
Yeah, they were,
because
Francis was dancing around the backdrop here.
Yeah,
in
particularly
the Export Big in the studio.
All like the merch we've got on the walls, and particularly that fake brick of cocaine that was there above your shoulder.
He did. His eyes did prick up at that.
So look, I mean, for those guys, they don't do a lot of. I don't think they do a lot of media.
They don't get given a lot of opportunity.
Nah, and I suppose they're just fairly busy. But I mean, coming in here, as their media person briefed them, these guys are quite loose.
Yeah,
and I mean that's not a great brief to have.
No,
when you come into something,
and we tend to be loose, when we aren't joined by professional athletes. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that, but when we enjoy an in sport conversation as much as the next man.
Totally, and professional athletes come in. You don't want to railroad them.
No. So, but they were.
They answered all the questions.
It was a fairly honest chat, wasn't it? There wasn't a lot going on, but those boys are excited, and I'm excited to be watching the All Whites at the World Cup. But you can tell that they are slightly nervous about the selection process.
Yeah, because Francis was like, look, the squad doesn't get named till like May.
Yeah.
So we've got all these games and all the prep and everything, but quite possibly you might miss out.
Yeah.
And that would be gutting.
That would be gutting. That would be getting, especially I know Bill's definitely probably, he might have one. No. I mean, if we are a shoo-in for majority of World Cups moving forward, that is great, but still, I think Bill's probably barely going to get one. I think he's 30 currently, so he might get one more. Francis is a bit younger. I don't know.
Yeah, you could get another one in. When's the next one after America?
I don't know. Jeez.
Must be back in Europe.
I just feel like Aussie's getting everything at the moment, but they will never get a FIFA World Cup, will they?
They might do.
That'd be awesome if they got a FIFA World Cup down here.
They've got the facilities.
They do.
Well, they did. The women's one was shared between us and Australia, wasn't it? So that was a fairly widely held success.
Yeah, we took that, a couple of years ago.
There you go.
Jeez, I can't even remember. Anyway, enough about them. The Yours Please part of the show. My favourite part of the show, where you send us messages for the Yours Please.
Well, we were still looking for those. We've got a couple of Hurricanes fans. And now, I take it back. There are some out there. Okay.
Well, we've had two.
Yeah, but I mean, I've probably only two listen to us.
Yeah, we were putting the call out for as many as possible, but let's see if we've got some more. First one of the day, 6 to get through. Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day fellas, Ryan from Timaru here. Long time, second time.
Nice.
How good was yesterday, eh? What a day for football. The Knicks winning, Auckland losing, just couldn't get better. So suck on that Nash. Crusaders winning, so suck on that G Lane. Crusaders mana.
Shut up.
Fuck Auckland. They're the Australians of New Zealand. Love you, Joe. All the best, mate.
Well, hang on, what? He's just going to come around and take a shit on every single one of us apart from Joe.
Auckland is the Australia of New Zealand.
That was Ryan from, he was in the party zone at the Black Clash.
Oh, yeah.
That was from Timaru.
Oh, yeah. I got. Hang on.
That's, Auckland's always going to be the most hated city in New Zealand. We all know that.
And I get that. We've all spent time outside of Auckland and we understand that.
And I guess it is the Australia of New Zealand because Australia couldn't care less what New Zealand think of them. Yet we just really hate them.
Yeah.
And they're like, meh.
I do feel bad about admitting this, but ever since moving to Auckland, I have very little think about the regions.
Yeah, and they hate you for that.
You don't even know where they are on a map.
Yep.
You get North Otago and like Blenheim.
Well, we have hotties, so suck on that.
Do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
No, the Mount's got those actually.
Yeah.
They're the two places I know like the back of my hand. Okay, next one. Cheers, Ryan. You fucker. Yours, please.
Good morning, Wounders.
Morning.
G'day.
Kenny here from Whangarei.
G'day, Kenny.
104 kilograms, 6'1".
Oh, yeah, good team.
First time, long time.
Width.
Hey, G Lane.
Yeah.
I'm on a boys trip to Lords, June the 4th.
Oh, hell yeah.
Flights, accommodation, and
mate,
tickets sorted.
Yep.
Any help with info for Lords? Take in some wine or 2 beers, and we do want to see you there. Fuck you all. Thank you.
What a trip. What a trip. I would recommend the local bar to go to is the Warrington if you want to get some prees in beforehand.
Last time you were there, you were riddled with cash, weren't you?
Oh, so much cash. Yeah, it's a cashless stadium, so just ready for your pay waves.
You're having to walk around with your North Face fanny pack, your pinger slinger like you were.
Yeah. I would recommend on your first day, just take beers in. Like you can take 4 king cans of beer in.
Oh yeah.
And there's heaps of offies and stuff around there. You can just pick it up from the dairies and stuff. You can just grab a 4-pack. You can take a little soft chili bag in with you as well.
You don't want to take like a Pimm's in there just to really feel it?
You got a day 2, 3, and 4 to go, remember?
Yeah, okay.
So I reckon day 2, you take a bottle of champagne each.
Okay.
Or you can mix it up. If there's a few of you, take a couple of bottles of champagne because you can take 1 bottle of wine or 4 beers.
Yeah.
And it's quite traditional at the lunch break is to try and get your cork on the field.
Your what on the field?
Your cork of the champagne cork on the field.
Right.
So you hear this. It's a very Lords thing. What you hear is as everyone fires their. Make sure you bring some.
It's the gentleman's game.
Some plastic vessels to drink the champagne out of as well. That you've got to be prepared.
The old school Tupperware camping cups.
And look, I'm not going to encourage it, but it is quite easy to sneak piss in there as well, in terms of like sticking a water bottle of vodka down your undies.
That
Lords is very much a trust model in terms of we will treat you as guests, but behave like guests.
Yep.
So, you can get away with a bit, but don't take the piss completely.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like around the members area, people turn up early and set up a picnic, blankets, baskets and everything, and then they just go and watch the cricket and leave it all out there.
Right.
And no one messes with it.
Okay.
So it's a high trust model at Lords.
So if you're going to take some stuff and moral of the story, maybe make sure you're responsible, because if you then get caught being problematic and then you've also been sneaking some stuff and you might be in some trouble.
Yeah, that's right. But it's a great time. They do things like you can't go to your seats. You can only go to your seats in between overs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's no distract. So you're not walking in front of people all the time.
Oh, it's an etiquette.
Mid-over.
Right, okay.
And then there's
etiquette.
There's a champagne bar and gin bar out the back. They've got like bookies out the back. They've got a big grass area you can sit on, and it's mate, you're in for an absolute treat.
When's that test?
It's in June.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be good.
That is going to be good.
I mean, weather's not guaranteed in June. Still can be a bit ropey early summer.
And just on that
London.
last point, you haven't eyed up that trip yet? No, don't even think about it.
Like I'm not
Would it kill you to just be like, no?
I don't rule out anything, Mashy.
Get that printed on a t-shirt. Right, next one. Yours, please.
Ooh, get your own thing. It's Chiefs mana. G Lane, you're just upset that every other team in New Zealand can get some mana, but the Chiefs can't get what the Crusaders have. And that's fucking championships. Anyways,
hey,
love yous, fuck yous. See you at Hodaki Corner.
Okay.
Hey,
Crusaders mana.
Shut up. We've got 2 championships, mate. So we're not sitting here we're not like virgin champions.
Who's currently holding the mana stick? Who was the last?
There's
to beat
no
the
mana
Chiefs?
stick.
Yeah, the mana stick. We took it off you, and then we lost it to the Blues. Have the Blues still got it?
There's only one team that has actually developed and holds mana.
I don't know if,
and that is the Chiefs.
Yeah, there's been spots of mana throughout their history. I can accept that, but right now,
mana is more than victory.
No, mana's not.
Mana's an attitude, and mana is it's a living thing. It is not just about winning. Just because you win doesn't mean you have mana. What's your problem down there?
Next one. Yours, please.
Yeah, that's Choppy.
G'day, Choppy.
Fucking Winton. Quick question. Where the fuck is Hoyt on the BYC? I miss his subtle tones. Obviously, we got the big show, but I like him talking cricket and his umpiring fucking prowess.
Yeah.
The old Lockie Ferguson yarn comes up every time. Does he just quit? Does he fucking just hate you for pissing up? Or just, I don't know, give us a bit of a rundown there, boys.
Rightio.
No, it's
drive-by incoming. Drive-by incoming.
In his words, he's taking a break from cricket because he's not enjoying it anymore.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Which I think is a sidebar for he doesn't like us anymore because we take the piss out of him too much, and he thinks he's a legit commentator.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is we might miss him talking about cricket, but I don't think he misses talking about cricket.
No, he doesn't. And with the BYC has never been longer because he tend to move them on quite quickly.
He would move them on very quickly.
He'd agree with Dylan and then move on.
I blame Cleaver and Ford for him not wanting to be on the BYC anymore.
Oh, that's right.
They keep putting the fake names in there.
They set him up every week. Every week they would set him up with a fake name.
Oh, because I knew he was just going to Ron Burgundy.
Actually, Ron Burgundy's the shit out of it. After he Ron Burgundy'd the laneways lineup, and when he read out all the food trucks.
Oh, okay.
So
that explains a lot because they
were trolling him
when I first started filling in after he left, and then before you came in, G Lane. Dylan Cleaver was getting really upset because I'd read the run sheet before we did the show.
Yeah,
and he was like, "No, we've never had a host before that's read the run sheet before the show."
Look, I think he's just taking a wee bit of a break, Jason Hoyt. He's.
I wonder if he'll be back.
Very sensitive soul,
We should get him one. We should ask him if one day he'd like to umpire an ACC 11 game. If he doesn't want to play, doesn't want to commentate, would he umpire?
Yeah, he's very busy doing nothing.
I think if he umpired an ACC 11, we would score about 6 runs.
We'll be out.
Yeah, he'd be
given out.
Yeah. And we'd abuse the shit out of him too.
We would. Well, you would. You certainly would.
This one is a 2-part. It starts off very dark.
Oh.
Okay. Thoughts and sorry, Tony laughed for this.
Oh God.
G'day, gents. Hamish from Auckland here.
Pipes.
7 inches long,
ambiguous girth, but we'll roll with it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to know, G Lane, you might be able to tell us, how the fuck is Tony Lyle getting the gig being the ground announcer at the fucking Black Caps, eh? Because I love a bit of Tony Lyle. I've seen him in the Classic and whatnot, but he would not be my first choice for the broadcast. I hope he's on the broadcast. I don't know if he is, but he would not be.
And then this was sent the next morning.
I'd just like to offer a formal apology to Tony Lyle for my drive-by last night. I don't remember exactly what I said. All I remember is I'd been on the beer since about 11 a.m. and felt like giving someone a spray, and he happened to be on the screen in front of me. Fuck South Canterbury.
Yes.
Blues Mana.
Get out of it. Get your mana out of your mouth. Get my mana out of your mouth.
If that's a full spray, I think you're doing quite well.
Yeah,
that was okay. There was still there was some love in his voice.
It's a poison chalice, that gig. I mean, it doesn't go on the broadcast. It's an in-ground MC role, where you go around and try and create a bit of energy around the ground. It's a tough assignment. I know Ben Hurley did it for years,
which is impressive, by the way.
And then it just wore him down. And then I think Tony was more than happy to step up.
Marty Heworth?
Marty Heworth did it for a while, yeah. Marty likes to party. It is a pretty thankless job, like, especially if you've got a game that's not got a great vibe. You've got to go around, and the amount of kids that would just yell into the microphone. And it's only for the big screen. So
it's, people, I mean, yeah. It's not great. It's great for a contract worker, I will be honest, and I assume that's why Tony's doing some good work doing that. He gets to pick up a bit of extra work. But as a man that's done a little bit of Auckland FC ground announcing, I can't quite explain how much soul it takes out of you. Yeah. You do go home and just stare at yourself in the mirror and go, Jesus.
It does take a bit of you.
It does.
Yeah. But and also you've got to go around and do all the sponsor obligations.
Yes, the ground MC job, the ground announcing job, great. You get to hide in a booth with a microphone, in your case, say some horrendous things and then never get asked back, or in my case, try and do a half-decent job, sometimes pronounce some players wrong, that's about as bad as it can go. The MCing job, the walk and talk job on the big screen, at the cricket, at the footy, at whatever, is just, it's a lot, isn't it?
Because you've got to do one break from the back of the ute, you got to do one break from some stupid
kids sandpit that they've made
put in, so there's all these requirements you got to do as well, and I guarantee all the shit that Tony really wants to say he can't.
Yeah, you're just thinking the worst things about everything that you walk past as well.
So
you got kids 6-7ing you fucking into.
Oh my god! And you speaking of the Lords trip, you go to Lords, none of that shit, and there's no ground announcing.
There's no ground announcing.
Nah,
they must introduce players.
Nah. Or they'll go
next to
no, they just go Joe Root.
Will they? See, that's good. That's efficient. That guy's probably getting paid quite a lot as well.
No, they just go Joe Root, and then they don't go batting number 3 for England, Joe Root. But then everyone's so it's very subtle. There's none of that carry on.
Why don't we
big screen MC?
If we're going to do it for the NZ20 thing that we've announced yesterday that they might be looking at.
Should we buy a team? Should we buy a team?
Do we have money for that?
No, but we can lean on someone who wants to remain anonymous potentially. Maybe some Russian oligarch.
Oh yeah, we'll take a Russian.
Saudi.
Controversial.
Saudi, bit of Saudi money.
Mm-hmm. More Tim Southey money.
Oh, how's he going? He's not. We're talking.
Doing quite well.
Someone needs to,
how much do we need for a NZ20 team?
I reckon 30 mil.
Oh right, okay.
No, in terms of operating costs and everything,
might be out,
30 mil.
What I was going to say though is I think we should, for the NZ20, if we're going to have the ground announcers and the music thing, we should let players like we have in previous years with ACC games, like make it an interest, like a walkout song that they get to choose, and there's a bit of pomp and ceremony, maybe a little bit more player specific. So then if I don't know, Nick Kelly's a real big fan of Simply Red, which I can only assume he is because he's looks very similar to Mick Hucknall. He can walk out to Stars.
Yeah. Are you getting this bums on seats?
This is the big bums on seats idea that I've got for the.
So this is what I'm pitching to Shake.
Walkout songs.
Bill Salmon.
Walkout songs get to be chosen. More like in the darts, who's the wounded that just loves titanium?
Yeah. So let's if someone wants to do some washing through here via us on an IPL team, which team should we go for? I think maybe the Mounters. The Mounters.
Yeah, I'll be happy to base ourselves.
The Mount Maunganui Yoppers.
You're onto something there.
The Mount Yoppers?
My only concern is
Super Yoppers, sorry.
The Super Yoppers, I feel like that might be more in line with what's happening in the Waikato at the moment.
The Super Yoppers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe the Perky Yoppers coming out of the Mount.
So what are you saying that Hamilton's big yopper, big sloppy yoppers?
The sloppy yoppers.
I'm not saying anything.
How dare you?
I'm not saying anything.
That's my tooting and wife. That's where I grew up.
No, they're lovely and nice and big.
Yeah, and then comes the butts. Man coming who comes from Rangiora or wherever the fuck.
He's from Kaipoi. He's from Kaipoi.
I don't know why I'm complaining.
Don't take Rangiora out of your fucking mouth.
Anyway.
The Kaipoi K-holers. Anyway, we'll get a team. Well, let's do some investigation. I think we should definitely get involved.
Perky Yoppers, yep.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
The Super Yoppers. You got to go. It's got to be something like Kings 11 or Super Yoppers or Sunrisers.
That or the Queenstown team.
The Sunrisers would be quite good in Mount, wouldn't it? Mount Maunganui Sunrisers.
That makes sense.
Let's do that. Get hold of a Tory. Surely he can make something happen.
Right, we got two more here.
Two more. Okay. All right.
This is your first ever Yours Please while in the shower having their back bush forcibly shaved by their partner. I'm not enjoying it.
What? Sounds like he's been...
It's not a beautiful lapa shaped like lanes. I'm not enjoying this. Send help.
Jesus, that's
quite an aggressive...
high wattage he's running on that trimmer.
Sounds like they're being shorn, yeah. Sounds like Callum as well.
Well, shout out to the missus. We didn't really hear her in the back there, did she?
No, but I mean, you deal with that back bush. I mean, thing is, you can grow the back bush out for the winter. It's just when summer months come, you might have to give it a bit of a trim. So it's quite aggressive to trim it before winter.
You've found that waxing works the best, haven't you? Jeremy Wells' lovely partner Tulsi waxed it, or
no? She shaped it into the love heart, and then when I came home, Jeremy waxed it off.
Oh yeah.
I think that was more of just to put a line underneath it because I think he saw Tulsi enjoying it far too much. She was combing the bush.
Yeah.
Shaped it into a lover heart.
And he has no hair on his body.
He has no hair. Yeah.
No.
So she was quite enamored by it. So I think that was a way of him just putting his line in the sand and saying, "I'm going to remove your bush. Stay away from Tulsi with your back bush."
Last one. Yours, please.
This might well be the best beginning to a season we have literally ever had. There is something special brewing. So you can say it with real confidence because I reckon this is our year.
Oh, Jesus.
I get that.
Is that a curse?
Right,
that's one of the worst Yours Places we've ever had.
I wasn't aware that Hosking was such a big fan of the show.
Well, thank you, Hosking, for your Yours Please.
Lovely to hear from you.
I'm just thinking about, do you reckon he has iHeartRadio on his phone?
No.
I don't reckon he does either.
No.
But
he works at News Talk ZB, and that's all he knows about this building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simply our year.
He's. I mean, to be fair, he's always been a Warriors fan. He's always been out.
Well, he was the poster boy for the Pinot Noirs, wasn't he, for a while? Not that he really knew about it, but I think that Matt Heath was such a big fan of Mike Hosking that he thought, how do I
emulate him?
Emulate that type of fandom.
Yeah.
And then the Pinot Noirs happened, and then of course about a year later,
hey, guess who's
fell off a cliff. But
guess who's also a fan of Formula One? Mike Hosking.
Well. Okay. Do they hang out, those two? Does he hang out with anyone?
No, Hosking doesn't.
Where does he live? He lives up north.
Out of Matakana,
yeah, on the hill.
Yeah. Up on the hills in the hills of
Has
Matakana.
anyone ever seen his house?
No.
Other than the Home and Living magazine?
Would Stano seen him? The boss here?
Maybe. I mean, Caddie's there, obviously. She's quite social.
Should we do some investigative journalism one night and head up there?
He should host a Wires watch party at his house.
Oh, watch along at Hosking's.
That would be pretty unreal.
He got presented like some Mac Daddy
jacket
Warriors bomber jacket by the CEO, so that was a nice sycophantic moment.
Right, okay. It's hard to get in the good books of the Wires at the moment. Have you noticed that?
It's also hard to get
in the PR for the Wires are really causing some headaches. But if they're sending out jackets to Mike Hosking, I'm questioning.
Yeah, they've lost touch.
They have lost touch.
They've lost touch.
It's like, it's exactly that's exactly what's happened. Is what about the grassroots supporters? I need to see the Wires. Who is it? Who's the CEO? George?
Cameron George. He was smacking an RTD behind the posts and abusing the players last week. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, he was.
There's a bit of respect.
Allegations from the Aussie media that he might have set that up with the cam ops. I saw a...
Good on him.
Oh, yeah? Well, so what?
Yeah, and also How the fuck would you know? Like, who cares?
It's classic Australians. Like, they'll be such cunts. Do everything they can to be assholes, but then when someone's an asshole back to them, oh, you can't do that.
He's emotional at the press conference. He's crying. He's sorry. Shut up.
The New Zealand crowds are so mean.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell.
They do have a touch of the build the wires up for the first 6 weeks of every season as well.
They know what they're doing.
Cut them the fuck down.
Oh, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do.
They know what they're doing. Before. And they also know what's coming. So they'll lose a couple in a row and a massive pile-on will start. Anyway, it's only Tuesday, isn't it? Hey, I've got some good news.
You're pregnant.
David Campese on the podcast tomorrow.
Campo.
The original goose-stepping Campo. You have no idea who he is.
No, well, I know of him.
You know of him.
I know of him for two reasons.
What?
The goosey.
Yes.
And he does tend to talk a lot of shit about the modern state of the game.
Yeah. Also, I know him because he's in Mania Stewart's phone, and Mania accidentally texted him once. He texted the wrong person. And but Campo replied.
Oh, what a good cat.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, looking forward to gender.
Okay.
All right.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.